Honey, I dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, I got to tell you, we envy you right now in that nice dry studio as we are at soggy and windy Gillette Stadium here in Foxborough, Mass. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
Brandon, there's 2 weeks to go in the regular season, so you know the pressure is ramped up in so many ways. People have to win games, try and get their bonuses, the whole deal. But how about trying to close out an MVP award?
Just 2 weeks to go. There has to be a lot of pressure, though. We've talked about that in previous weeks, sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah, he can talk all he wants about, I don't listen to that, and there's no pressure. All we're doing is trying to win games. He knows, we all know, he's been the one who's been leading the pack. Let's see if he can close it out.
5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
He's not going to get me. Slam, slam, slam. He's crossing. He's checking. Yellow.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's going to be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Mahomes now on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The veteran Stephon Gilmore able to break that one up. The starters defensively now for the Patriots. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Check 24.
They'll run with Kelly. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. Calling about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Big fourth down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on fourth down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Butker now to add the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
In the NFL, we love to talk about bloodlines and how important they can be. And for Zay Jones, he's got a terrific one. His dad, Robert, longtime linebacker in the NFL, big time with the Dallas Cowboys. And his uncle, Jeff Blake, a starting quarterback in the NFL at one point. Wonder if he played catch with Uncle Jeff in the backyard.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Come on, set, 8, read. All day, every day, any day.
On third down, Herbert. throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And the final 2 weeks, just like a formality pretty much, they're going to be the #1 seed, but there is the matter of that perfect record, 14-0 right now. How might that change how they approach these next 2 games?
And I think what it does is it forces you to come together as a team and as an organization and say, okay, what are we really trying to accomplish here? And what's the best way to reach those goals? For some teams, the best way is to stay focused, stay locked in, go for a perfect season, and then take that open week to rest and heal up before the playoffs begin. For others, okay, we've got it locked in. Let's start to tamp it down a little bit. Get these guys rested and ready to go. All depends on your organization. I think most players would tell.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
Now Mahomes going to get this one to Hill. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on third down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last third down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
Yellow, mark the blue lady. 56. Squeeze, double.
They'll run on first down. Callan, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
That's it, baby.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear. But here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. First carry now for Jordan Howard. The numbers for Howard a week ago, 18 carries, 71 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
To throw on second down. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 15-yard line.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On first down, they run with Howard. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Ready, 50, play.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day off this.
This is Howard on second down. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Double up.
To throw on third down, Herbert. And that is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. And his kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
That one covers 29 yards, first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Throwing now is Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
The corner, Stephon Gilmore on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to look deep down the field, and that's caught inside the 35. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Howard. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Howard all alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 4. And this is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
That's what I'm talking about. Sacks all day, baby. Go ahead and take a seat. You can't stop me.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And his kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. You end up having to take 3 there.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. This is Geis. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Hey, 43, 15.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Butker on for the PAT. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Operating from the gun, Herbert. Wide open receiver, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Off play action, Herbert. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Herbert. Throwing middle, and it's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. 2nd and 5. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know,
and he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Again, it's Howard. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The second down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Herbert. And that will be incomplete. So coming up empty here to start the 3rd quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That's taken on the 25. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 22.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 30 on 2nd down, Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Now Mahomes. That's into the hands of Edwards. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. In for the score. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Patriots. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
218, chop.
Running with Howard. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He's going to let one fly for Tate, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now here comes Kansas City. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mahomes. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a run with Geis. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game could really benefit your team right now.
Yellow.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
On first down, Mahomes. They complete it to Hill. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Butker now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That time a 6-play drive, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They go with Howard again. And he will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And that's also all for this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Foxborough. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. New England on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Herbert. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Geis. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And he's got this down to the 35. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. On the carry is Kelly. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Showed up. Attack! 52's the mark.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Dancing to his left. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
18 Gator. Hey, tighten down.
On the delay, it's Howard. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down. A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Looking to throw. Herbert. They'll set up the screen to Howard. Call it a gain of 5 as they move the sticks.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Back to throw. Herbert. Man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Check.
From the gun, Herbert. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 36. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Butker on for the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 25. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks. They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. To throw again on second down. Mahomes. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Butker now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Chiefs defense here ready to head back out onto the field. They've played excellent. Another stop here, that would just be the icing on the cake.
You definitely want to finish things off the way it's gone throughout the day. and it's gone awfully well for them. They don't want to give up any type of a fluke, any type of a big play here. That'll leave a bad taste in their mouth as they go in and celebrate.
Yeah, they want that good cake taste, right?
No doubt about it. That 6-layer cake.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On 1st and 10, Herbert. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at about the 31. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty...
These wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Butker on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Go, 50 plants. What? Watch the run, watch the run.
Off the play fake. Herbert. And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.